I want to die. Yes, let's die. But what is death? To be frozen in time? Time stopped for me long ago. How can I die in a world that is already dead? Everything inside me is crumbling away. Who am I? I can barely recall. My soul is melting into the void. Someone there? Anyone? Something moves in the corner of my eye. Impossible. I tried to move my eyes, but I've forgotten how. A pleasant voice silences the buzzing in my ears. Oh, thank God. It's the angel. She's gonna carry us to heaven, thankfully. It reminds me of who I am. Okabe Rintaro. This time, my eyes move. There's a girl sitting on a nearby rock. I recognize her. My frozen brain comes alive. Her presence breathes new life into this dead world. Mayuri. My brain is still half asleep, and I cannot speak. It's Mayuri. Shina Mayuri, my oldest friend. She smiles at me, swinging her legs.
ここはね、7000万年前の地球だよ。オカリンは陰謀に巻き込まれてタイムマシンでここに送られちゃったんだ。
This is a dream, right?
マユシーはね、オカリンを追いかけてたくさんの世界線のすべてのオカリンを探し続けてきたのです。ここにいるオカリンもたくさんいるオカリンのうちの一人って言えるし、オリジナルでもあるって言えるの。ここにいるマユシーもたくさんいるマユシーのうちの一人って言えるし、オリジナルでもあるって言えるの。でね、オカリンもマユシーもここで死んじゃうと思う。
This is a dream, right? Mayuri?
でもきっと7000万年後の秋葉原にいるオカリンとマユシーまで意志は連続していくんだって思うな。だから大丈夫だよ。
これは夢だ。
Bleh. I jerk awake on top of the sofa. My body is drenched in sweat. Okay, well, sure there's something. I guess we can see it as a cautionary tale on using the time machine and over to a point of creating total chaos. And I guess, for that matter, that's how the visual novel is telling us to interpret it. But at the same time, the idea of some Rintaros actually being sent long ago in the past 70 million years ago, and the idea that Mayuri somehow transcends time and space to a point where she can go anywhere, even 70 million years ago, to find one Rintaro, that's quite a scary thought, not gonna lie. Dreams can also be considered like an alternative role line, if you are to think about it in some way. I must have fallen asleep sometime around noon. What a horrible nightmare. I guess that frightening email I got is still weighing on my mind. Still, Mayuri had to save me. Even in a dream, that's unacceptable. I mean, yeah. It could well be possible. I mean, we know CERN is occupying themselves with a time machine. Whether right now or in the future, that's to be discussed, but they could technically send you, like, long in the past. if they wanted to. I'm the one who saves her. That's the way it should be. Besides, Mayuri's not smart enough to talk about time travel like that. I stood up and looked around the room. She's right where I expected to find her. In front of the TV, watching a Rainet Kakeru DVD. On the screen, the Upa riding Kakeru's shoulder is screaming something unintelligible.
マユシーもウーパとお友達になりたいな。
But look at her sitting there all spaced out. Mayuri needs my protection. And that dream is wrong. I chuck a Dr. P and check my phone. What in the world? No new emails. We got some from Rintaro? I sent Taro a mail several hours ago, just to make sure that he really isn't Suzuha's father. He hasn't replied yet. Don't listen to Christy. Ah, okay, that's an email from, those are the emails from like yesterday. Gotcha. But obviously, Daru and the others don't know that I changed the past. Oh, it's you.
お前か。秋葉ルミホ。
誰のことかにゃ?
I could have sworn her real name was Akiha Rumio. Yeah. It's just that you agree that she's Faris. I mean, who is Akira? Don't tell me. Could the email have changed that too?
フェイリスはフェイリスにゃ。それ以外の名前は持たないにゃ。
はいはい、そうですね。マナはフェイリスだよな。これは失礼。
Of course, she's just being her usual self.
それで
Shelf? She's being a shelf? Can she transform into a shelf? Man, she would be good in a prop hunt game. If Iris called me, it might be about the IBM 5100. She did promise to help us find one. Yeah, that's right, we still have to find one.
今日は派手に動きすぎたにゃ。すでに包囲網が敷かれたにゃ。
は？
Huh? More of Iris' usual nonsense?
四天王が動き始めたにゃ。もう逃げられないにゃ。
Faris, stop talking like that. Rintaro is legitimately being afraid that he's being threatened by some organization.
そうか。だが四天王ごときで俺を止められると思うな。秋葉は血の海になるぞ。
四天王の後には裏四天王もいるにゃ。その後には白血衆がいるし、さらにブラックエンジェル12も控えてるにゃ。
And what's next? The Cat Goddess 16?
そんなにいるのか？インフレしすぎだろ。
それだけ奴らは本気だってことにゃ。今日な、残念だけどチェックメイトにゃ。
いや、まだだ。あれさえ手に入れれば形勢を逆転できる。 IBN5100 の情報は未だ手に入らないのか。
Christ. This is the kind of talk that I had with people like when I was a teenager, like in high school or and such, like over the internet. Just speaking chunibyo nonsense to each other, I guess.
にゃー。ごめんにゃ。世界中の情報をかき集めてるけど、まだ見つかってないにゃ。
Well, so she has no progress to report?
急いでくれ。俺にはもう時間がない。
わかったにゃ。見つかった時はフェイリスから連絡するにゃ。今日はそれまで死なないでにゃ。
ああ、死ぬものか。L、プサイ、コング、ルーテ。
He hung up before I could finish. Damn it. That's why I hate talking to Faris. Anyway, moving on. This time around, my search for an IBM 5100 is going poorly. Actually, I suppose I should consider myself lucky for having found one so easily the first time. I mean, the IBM 5100 is practically an urban legend. There are people like Moeka who have spent months searching for it, no success. Last time, it barely took me 3 days to reach Yanabayashi Shrine, almost as if something was guiding me there. He was fate. No. He was the choice of Steins Gate. That's why its loss is so painful.
さすが幻って言われる PC だよな。
Daro is sitting at his computer, like always.
アットちゃん情報だけどさ、何年か前にコレクターがうん千万円出してまで手に入れたって話もあるらしいよ。IBN5100 やばい。マジやばい。
そこまでプレミアがつくとは。
Then people must know their secret. They are all after the data in CERN's mainframe.
僕的にはすごく不思議なんだよね。実際なんでそんな値段がつくのかマジで謎。もともと高かったっていうのもあるかもしれないけど、当時の値段で2万ドルぐらいしたらしいから。
$20,000. That is expensive.
それにしても手に入らなさすぎな気はする。確かにいいマシンだけど、それはあくまで当時としてはだし、そんな血眼になってまで手に入れる価値があるとは思えねえ。誰かが買い占めてたりして。
The harder something is to obtain, the stronger the desire for it becomes. That's how people are. And that's exactly how I feel now. In the depths of CERN, completely isolated from the outside, lies a database coded within IBM 5100. What secrets are sleeping there? Well, we figured out some of the secrets, I guess. Could it contain the data from CERN's time machine research? Could there be proof that a community of 300 exists? The desire to know grows stronger by the day. It's not just about plunging the world into chaos anymore. We need the power to oppose CERN's evil ambitions. And then there's that threatening email to consider. Daru is confident that CERN won't find us, but I can't afford to take that for granted. After all, we're up against the brightest minds in the world, the scientists who invented the World Wide Web. And they're backed by a secret organization more powerful than any nation. We are way out of our league here. They'd have no trouble at all crushing our puny lab if they desired. That's why we need a trump card to hold against them. But without an IBM 5100, we can't move forward. I'm getting restless.
うお、なんじゃこりゃ。
Daru suddenly lurches forward to stare at his monitor.
どうした？
いや、こんなのありえないんですけど。
Like at first I would think that there is something serious that might be useful to us, but it's probably something like anime related, isn't it?
どういうことか説明しろ。
今セルンのルート券ゲットしようといろいろ調べてて。
Oh, okay. Alright.
なんかやけにセルンのデータベースの情報が落ちてくんのが早いなと思ってたんだけど、これすげえよ。なぜかこのビル周辺からセルンまで直通の光回線が通ってる。しかも一本じゃなくてたくさん束になってるお。
What?
直通とは普通とは何が違う？
We?
文字通り直通。こっからフランスにあるセルンまでマジで光ケーブルが直接つながってる。
All the way. Wait, have you checked yourself, or are you just pulling this information out of your ass because you're deducing this?
普通の場合は違うのか？
全然違うっつーの。
I mean, a direct cable that goes from here all the way to Europe? That's crazy. I mean, but is this true? I mean, just because we have like crazy internet speeds like connecting to that part of the world doesn't mean that we have the best cables in the world that would do so, right? Daro calls up the National Assembly of France's website. Then he brings up the command prompt and hammers out some commands.
ほら見てみ。これはこの PC からフランスの国民議会のサイトを見るときの経路なわけ。この PC の IP アドレスが0番のとこな。で、その後日本国内のいろんな箇所を経由してからフランスに飛んで、そこからさらに国民議会のサイトが置いてあるところまでフランス国内のコンピュータを経由してる。
Let's see. Tracing route to Assembly National FR. Okay, so that's their IP address. Where the fuck is it? Or actually, there we go. Now I remember the button. Okay. Okay, so that's our Future Gadget Lab. That's our IP address. There. Yeah. As you're saying, so these are some of the Japan, what did you call them? Relays. These are the first like relays of Japan. There's the Japan relay, and then it goes all the way to US? Wait, United States? US? Huh. Well, either way, it's long in Japan. Request timed out. And yeah, the second to last one is definitely a France IP. What's with the US ones though? Unless it's not United States. But yeah.
国民議会のサイトを見るためには16の経路が必要なわけ。
Okay. Yeah, I can definitely see that.
平均転送速度は 300ms ぐらい。海外ならこんぐらいが普通。わかりやすく言うと、日本からフランスのサイトを見に行くための道は限られてるわけ。誰でも同じ道を通る。これはフランスだけじゃなくて他の国でも同じだし、日本国内でだって10経路ぐらいは通るんだよ。じゃあ次にセルンを見てみるお。
Daro calls up CERN's homepage on the browser. Then he displays their all like last time. The result?
経路はたったの1。
Oh! Unlike before, the signal doesn't pass through any intermediate servers. The PC we're using, its registered name is Akihabara PC. It's connected directly to CERN in France. Huh. Okay.
しかも転送速度は普通の数百倍だ。むちゃくちゃ速い。こんな数字国内でも出ないよ。向こうはフランスなのに。
なぜ直通なんだ？こんなことありえるのか？
Damn. Okay, so yeah, normally I guess it makes sense, given that we found like all that information about CERN previously like quite well with the IBM 5100. Like I assume that this might the phone wave, I said it was change, belonged to CERN at some point. I don't know why they would make a microwave version of it, but nonetheless, I get the feeling that the reason why like it functions the way it is because it belonged to CERN at some point. It would even have like some lifter inside it that would enable it to do what it does. But maybe this computer is also like this computer also belongs to CERN. The reason why there's such an easy connection to them in the first place. This computer was, I guess, for the lack of a better word, programmed to function directly to the CERN servers, even to this day. Like, I have to ask again, Where did you guys get this microwave to begin with? And now I'm asking the same thing for the PC. Where the hell did you get these things?
クラックする前からこの状態だったのだぜ。僕は何もいじってねえもん。
このビルには以前からセレンとのホットラインがあるわけか。偶然とは思えないな。これはシュタインズゲートの選択である可能性が。
I'm telling you guys, there is actually a secret lab somewhere in this building. Like, we are close to one building, as I said before.
普通だったら絶対にありえない。日本のデータ通信網とは完全に独立したケーブルが1本だけここからセレンまでつながってるなんて。
That was so excited he interrupted me.
そんなもんを日本やフランスの通信会社が設置するとは思えないし、となると
設置したのはセレン自身か。
Daro gulps and nods. Cold sweat oozes from his brow. Though, here's the problem though. If we are disconnected to the CERN, we are connected like this to CERN, like, we have an advantage, I guess, but I guess this is a disadvantage to us as well, because there are high chances that they are, like, they are watching us. They could be watching our actions from their side as well. I feel a chill as well. CERN might be able to see everything we're doing. Exactly. No, maybe CERN has been expecting us for years. How could that be? The answer is simple. John Tyler claims that CERN completed their time machine in 2034. Just 2 years later, the world is a dystopia under their rule. Maybe the CERN of 2034 considers our position in 2010 a threat. Maybe they use their time machine to travel to 2000 and install a fiber optic cable to track our every move. It's entirely possible. I mean, either to check our moves or... Well, you know, the thing is, like, there is the theory that maybe there is like a secret lab around us. But there's also the possibility that maybe before Rintaro and Daru moved here, some actual scientist from CERN lived in this apartment. Maybe. And they needed a fiber optic to connect to CERN, like, easily from a distance. Has the invention of the time machine started an intertemporal war? If so, what can we do? Our enemy might be stronger than even I can imagine. No. I mustn't lose heart. I need to think positive.
でもさ、この直通回線があるおかげで LHC をこの PC からでも使えるようになったお。
We ourselves could control the LHC remotely. Well, honestly, I feel like that's really, really difficult. One computer to control an entire LHC?
本当にやったのか?
Wait. Maybe that's not such a crazy idea. I mean, it sounds quite crazy, but maybe some things are starting to make more sense than we realize.
すごいよ、ダルくん。
Mayuri passes her DVD and comes up beside me.
これだけの転送速度だからさ、遠隔操作もタイムラグほぼゼロだお。まだ実際に試してないけど。
That's right. Even if this is some kind of CERN trap, we might be able to make use of it. I mean, imagine. Before we were thinking, how in the world is this tiny microwave capable of doing all this like D-mail transfer and like all that stuff that we tested with the bananas and the juicy chicken #1. Like maybe there's some lifter like inside it. Imagine the possibility that with the microwave and the computer, we are literally connecting to CERN, and the reason why like all this data transfer, like demailing and banana transfer, like time traveling that we're doing is happening in the first place is because we're controlling the LHC all the way in France without us knowing. The poor scientists, like all the way there at CERN, are finding out that the LHC is turning on and off at random without them realizing why the fuck is this going on in the first place, without them controlling it themselves. Like the LHC is operating at random without them knowing the reason. And the reason why is because us kids, like in Japan, are controlling it using the phone wave. Well, no wonder we are being threatened by some secret entity, I guess. We keep using their LHC without us realizing. They're still vulnerable to our attack.
LHC ってあの20キロ以上ある大きなトンネルでしょ。結局何をするトンネルなんだっけ。
要所を加速して衝突させる。
あ、そうそう、ミニブラックホールを作れるんだよね。
公式発表じゃミニブラックホールは陽子衝突の過程で副産物的に生まれる可能性があるだけって言ってたけど、実は違ったんだわな。
極秘の内部資料によれば、初めからブラックホールを作るために建設された装置だった。
But we still don't know exactly how they do it. We need to think of a way to...
岡部。
Kurisu suddenly emerges from the development room. She was cooped up in there all morning. Her expression is initially grave.
どうした？
やっと解が出た。
Figured what out?
電話レンジの仕組みのことよ。
解明したのか？
And with that being said, like, I get the thing that the reason why, like, it's not the phone wave itself. Like, in conclusion, it's not the phone wave itself that is doing all this D-mail transferring. The phone wave is just the equivalent of a relay. Like, it transmits the information all the way to CERN, and it uses their time machine to make our D-mails go back in time. That actually makes more sense. Kurisu nods. She still hasn't smiled.
あくまで私がわかる範囲で導き出した仮説だけど、今話してた LHC とも大きく関係する話。
LHC は世界一大きな電子レンジである。そういう例えを挙げたのはお前だ、クリスティーナ。
そう、その通りだった。予想は間違ってなかった。電話レンジはとんでもない化け物よ。
A monster.
こんな雑居ビルの一室に置いといていいものじゃない。もちろんネガティブな意味で。
Kurisu clutches her arms as if to keep from trembling.
具体的に説明してもらおう。
電子レンジってもともとはリーダーの研究の結果偶然生まれたことは知ってる？
Radar research. Daru and I nod. Mayuri shakes her head. We read up on all that back then. We read up on all that back then. The phone wave needs to change started acting weird.
発生する電磁波の周波数は 2.45GHz のマイクロ波。電話レンジに使われているのは業務用の強力なやつだから、出力は1500から2000ワットくらいある。で、ここからが重要。
Kurisu goes on to explain that electromagnetic waves output by the microwave are somehow connected to the electromagnetic waves output by the phone. In fact, you could say they fuse together.
確かにダルの設計図によれば、電子レンジと携帯、 2つの機器に共通する電磁波を飛ばすためのリード線はマグネトロンの陰極と陽極にそれぞれ結線してある。
A type of vacuum tube used in microwave ovens and radar produces strong microwaves. On one hand, we have the microwave's super strong electromagnetic waves, originally a byproduct of the military's research into radar technology. On the other, we have the cell phone's standardized electromagnetic waves, a frequency now ubiquitous throughout the world. What happens when you fuse those two waves?
どっちも電波を使うことに関しては一致している。それがどんな範囲でどんな強さで影響を及ぼすのかはちゃんと調べたわけじゃないし、私は専門家でもないから想像がつかないけど、仮に携帯電話を踏み台にして周囲何百キロっていう広範囲に影響を及ぼすような軍事用電磁波がまき散らされたとするなら、秋葉原どころか東京が丸ごと電子レンジの中と同じ状態になる。中にいる人が死に至るまでの時間は体重差にもよるけど、平均しておよそ3分。
Well, I'm sorry, I blinked. Oh, what the fuck are you talking about? How did we end up at thinking that Tokyo itself is inside a huge microwave?
マジ？じゃあ電話レンジって大量破壊兵器ってことじゃね？
So you're saying that us connecting the electromagnetic waves of the phone wave and the phone itself could create this much of a destruction? Or are you saying that if I'm to combine it with my theory, we're connecting it with that of the LHC? Is it really that powerful?
あの電話レンジの中で起きてることを教えてあげるわ。レンジ内の目に見えない水素に対し電磁波のエネルギー順位が上昇する。これは通常の電子レンジの機能。
Okay.
そこに携帯電話の拡散型電磁波が加わることによってレンジ内のあらゆる素粒子が衝突を繰り返すごとに質量を増していって高速に近い円運動を始める。それはいわば加速器のようなもの。
加速器？
It's really literally the same as the LHC.
じゃあ LHC がミニブラックホールを生成するために作られたのなら、やはりこの電話レンジカッコ仮もミニブラックホールを生み出している。
Okay. Kiriso doesn't deny it.
こんなに安定して動作しているのが奇跡よ。ただまだわからない点があって、ミニブラックホールが生成されたとしてもそれは一瞬で蒸発してしまうはずなの。でもこの電話レンジはどうやらそうじゃない。バナナや唐揚げがゼリーマンになっていることからそれは明らか。 LHC と同じようにミニブラックホールはカーブラックホールに変化している。
タイターの理論によれば、ミニブラックホールにカーブラックホール効果を生み出すためには電子注入が必要だった。
その注入される電子がどこから来ているのか、それがわからないの。 LHC はリフターによってブラックホールに電子を注入して重力場をコントロールしていた。リフターに代替するものがこの電話レンジのどこかにある。
Yeah, I mean that's what I kept thinking for a while. Like, what is this lifter inside the phone wave that helps creating like the black holes? Like as you said, injecting electrons inside to help with the gravitational field. Let's see. Something called a lifter to inject electrons into the black hole and control the gravitational field. Yeah, so excluding my idea that the phone wave acts as more of a relay to CERN, where the real time machine exists, and we are just basically using CERN's time machine. Excluding that theory, I guess we're gonna move that to the... We're gonna put it in the shelf for right now. If we're still thinking that the phone wave itself is also a time machine, then yeah.
どこかって？
だからわからないのよ。
I mean, that's what I keep saying. Maybe we should study the inside of the phone wave. So I guess that's what it comes down to. All Curtis's explanation does is confirm our hypothesis that the phone wave, next to the change, functions the same as the LHC.
LHC とは何か復習してみる必要がありそうだな。
Ah yeah, also, let's read this email part-time order. It's easy to pretend to be someone you're not. Ultimately, however, there's no escaping the contradictions between your false self and the real you. It's a paradox, and paradoxes can't hold. I tried to tell myself that I didn't need anyone, that forming bonds would only hurt, but somehow I ended up joining your circle of friends. I still don't know if it was for the best. No, I'm sure it was. Without you, I would have given up on ever finding my dad. I don't know why I wrote all this. I guess what I'm trying to say is thanks. You're welcome, little one. You're welcome. We're sharing confessions now? Be careful to whom you expose your innermost feelings. They may use them against you. Huh?
LHC はラージハドロンコライダーの略だね。和訳すると大型ハドロン衝突型加速器ってところかな。
ハドロン
Hand-drawn coriander. Hand-drawn kaleidoscope. Hand-drawn colon.
素粒子の名前。
でこいつはフランスとスイスにまたがる形で作られた円形の巨大地下トンネルで、全長は約27キロ、地下100メートルの深さにある。トンネルの中には2本のリングが通ってて、リングの中は超低温の真空状態なんだお。つまり宇宙環境を再現してるわけ。マジ燃える。陽子の加速は隣接する施設から線形加速器陽子シンクロトロンブースター SPS で段階的に加速されて、最後に LHC に注入され敷き詰められた超電動磁石による最後の加速を行うんだ。最終的には高速の 99.999991% にまで達するを。 LHC やばい。電話レンジほどじゃないけどな。でもって加速させた陽子を1秒間に10億から100億回ぐらい衝突させる。そこで起きる高エネルギー反応について観測するのが LHC 計画の目的って一応公表されてる。大嘘だったけど。
I guess that about covers it.
そこでラボ面諸君に聞きたい。我が電話レンジカッコ仮によってセルンを出し抜き物理的タイムトラベルは可能かどうか。
問題は2点ある。局所場指定とリフター。
I mean, if I am to think about that theory from before that the phone wave is just a relay to the CERN's real time machine and we are using their time machine, that can be bad because while it may be dangerous to them, like at first glance, that some kids are toying with it, on the other hand, it basically helps them in studying like time travel to begin with, unless like it basically destroys CERN, like we somehow destroy CERN with it, in which case they're gonna threaten us. Although, if I'm to think about that threat that we got, like via mail, from this could be very well be CERN, in which case they don't like that we are using their time machine. In which case, it's not necessarily that they're gonna be like, these kids are using our time machine. Wait, hold on, let them cook. No, I think that what we're doing is dangerous to them, if I'm to go with that theory. In which case, Rintaro, I think that us toying with the phone wave is not a good idea. Like, we would basically be helping CERN. But if this phone wave is a time machine itself, the way we've known until now, then we can go ahead and try to beat them, I guess.
局所場指定については前も言った通りだ。D メールはきちんと指定先に届いている。
検証もなしに結論を出すのは危険よ。
Agreed.
リフターの代わりを担っているものについては、すでにあることは分かっている。その何かを見つければいいだけの話だ。
見つけられるとは思えない。この小さな電子レンジの中を私たちはもう何日もかけて調べまくっているけど、ヒントさえ手に入らない。
Okay, so you guys have tried to see what is inside, I guess. What in the world could it be? Is it something like it's... I mean, judging by what you're saying right over here, it's not something physical, maybe. It's something hidden. Like some kind of... Like, instead of it being something physical created that is added inside the phone wave / LHC... Could be like a program of some sort? A hidden program that basically acts as a lifter?
もし仮に見つけ出したとしても、注入する電子量の調整にはさらに膨大な時間がいる。
膨大ってどんぐらい？
セルンは9年をかけても解決できていない。
Yeah, and they're still gonna be doing it until 2034. We're just amateurs, so it's bound to take even longer. Wait, I have an idea.
ならば、発想を逆転させてみよう。セルンは人間を物理的にタイムトラベルさせようとしたが、注入電子量の調整がうまくいかず、得意点を裸にできていない。それはこの電話レンジカッコ仮も同じことだ。ゼリーマンにならず、無事に送れるデータ量は36バイトプラスアルファだけ。そこで逆に考えるんだ。一人の人間を丸ごとデータ化し、それを36バイトプラスアルファまで圧縮してしまえばいいと考えるんだ。
That's the thing. Like, this is something that I was asking myself. But in that case, how do you convert something physical? I mean, I'm talking about humans, but bananas and such, into data. What constitutes... Because the way that I'm thinking is that the phone wave is trying to convert the banana and the juicy chicken #1 into data, but I guess when it converts, it will be something too big. So the only thing that it can do is gellify it to a point where it can teleport it. And by that conclusion, it means that that jelly, whatever it is, has like the least amount of data. Like it compresses it, transforming into jelly, and then it would be like at the limit of 36 bytes. And that's what I'm thinking. But we have to, like, the only thing that we can do is convert the physical thing ourselves in some completely different matter. Like convert that physical thing into data enough for us to put it inside and then transfer it. Or we increase the data limit from 36 bytes to something bigger, like one or the other. When it comes to converting human to data, how the fuck will we be able to do it? I don't know.
そうすれば D メールと同じようにリング得意点を通過できるではないか。
人間を丸ごとデータ化ってそんなことできるわけないじゃん。もしできたとしてもそのデータ容量天文学的な数字になるんじゃね？それをどうやってたったの36バイトまで圧縮するん？バカなの？死ぬの？
いいアイデアだと思ったんだが。
I guess it's not that easy. The barriers to time travel are just too high. I mean, not even CERN had that like going easily from like first steps. Reason why they sent Jellyman into space. I turned to Karisu, meaning to ask her opinion, and then I realized that her expression has changed dramatically. Her eyes are wide as saucers, and her mouth is hanging open.
そうか。それなら、もしかしたら。
She pauses for a second, and then...
できるかもしれない。
What? Time travel? It's hard to believe what Karisu is saying, even though it's my idea in the first place.
本気で言っているのか?
Karisu grins triumphantly in response.
少なくともデータ容量の超圧縮については簡単よ。
Okay.
LHC で作ったブラックホールを利用すればいい。ブラックホールは飲み込んだあらゆるものを超圧縮してしまうんだから。
Oh.
圧縮するものが単なるデータなら人間みたいに潰されることで命が失われることもない。
I get it. But wait, can we really pull off such a stunt? I mean... Yeah, like at this point, the only thing that we can do... I mean, we don't really have the knowledge or resources to turn the phone wave to something big that would compress a human like into 36 bytes. So I guess the best thing that we can do is use the 8HC. And if I'm to go with my theory that we were using the phone wave as a relay to the 8HC/CERN, then maybe. But the thing is, as I said, CERN have experimented with humans and have failed. So, like, they are at this point where they are trying to compress it, but with no success, turning people into jelly. But you know what? It is a step closer. If we are smart enough, and we use their LHC, maybe we can successfully find a way to, like, time travel people without turning them into jelly. And besides...
人間のデータ化についてはどうするつもりだ?
サイエンス誌に私の論文が載ったっていうことは知ってるわよね。
なぜいきなり自慢を始めるのだ?
その論文を読んだことは?
I haven't.
おう、その号のサイエンス誌ならスキャンして撮ってあるお。
Daru opens up his image folder, scrolls past tons of 2D porn, and opens up the scanned image. Okay. Sure enough, there's Kurisu's name in big English letters.
論文のタイトルは側頭葉に蓄積された記憶に関する神経パルス信号の解析。
側頭葉？神経パルス？
あれ？オカリン知らなかったん？
いや待て、からかうのはよせ。このタイトルは物理学というより脳科学の分野では？
Okay, so I'm just gonna have to say this. The scientific study of the brain. This field incorporates biology, genetics, medicine, psychology, and electrical engineering. So I'm just gonna say this. Not sure if I'm gonna bet on this or anything like that, and... let me think about this for a second. Cause... Okay, so... I'm actually... Like, my theory right over here, like this crazy idea that could happen in the story, I guess we shall see, is a reference to a completely different story that I read a while ago. I'm not gonna say the name of the story, because it could be a spoiler. So I'm just gonna name the idea. There could be the possibility, I mean, there is no evidence for it yet. Like, imagine the possibility that if what Krisu is saying is true, and it could help dramatically in us succeeding this. CERN, on the other hand, are using Kurisu's thesis and anything else that she published in order to successfully create their time machine. Like, it's the equivalent of a story of how, like, two very smart people, one of them being scientists, like, going through, like, a chaotic adventure together because some organization is trying to silence that scientist, because that organization is using this device to create something that is based on a thesis that the scientist published like many years ago. And the scientist realizes, like, at the end, like near the end of the story, that, oh my god, those sons of bitches have used my thesis from like 10 years ago to create their device. What the fuck? And the reason why they're trying to silence me and the thesis and the book that I'm writing right now is because, like, the knowledge to create that device, like, if it were made public, that could create chaos for the organization, and they're trying to stop me because of it. They're using my idea on their device. They stole my idea. It's something like that. Like, this could very well be something that could happen. Like, CERN could be using, like, Kurisu's ideas in her thesis in order to successfully create their time machine. Imagine that kind of thing. Could it happen? Maybe.
脳科学専攻ですけど何か
What? I can't believe it. From the way she talks about particle accelerators and time travel theory, I was sure she had to be a physicist.
いや、それはまあいいとして。それとタイムトラベルとどんな関係が？
人間丸ごとのデータ化は無理でも、人間の記憶丸ごとのデータ化なら可能っていうこと。
Converting memories to data. Kurisu proceeds to explain her thesis. I mean, at this point, based on the way that we time traveled and all that, with the many worlds interpretation and all that, what we're doing is not sending Rintaro and his body physically, like back in time or anything like that. We're basically having Rintaro's consciousness jump from one Rintaro to another Rintaro in a different roll line. Like, we're hopping from one roll line to another, like, with his consciousness, not his physical body. And if we are to think of it like that, yeah. Like, caution, like, if we were to go with what Kurisu is saying right over here, then yeah, maybe we can do that. The thing is, though, yeah, it could very well be possible that we're not converting physical beings. We're converting Rintaro's consciousness, his memories and all that, into data and sending them. But in that case, it is a success. We are converting, like, Rintaro's consciousness, like his mind and all that, his, like, all the neurons existing inside his mind into data and transferring it all into a different roll line successfully. In which case, we are using a black hole to compress, like, all that data into, like, the limit of 36 bytes. Somehow, memories accumulate in something called the parahippocampal gyrus, or hippocampus, which is located in the temporal lobe of the brain. But what exactly are memories? Kurisu's thesis analyzes that question from a neuroscientific perspective. All the brain's functions manifest as electrical signals running through its neurons. Even memories are written to the hippocampus by electrical signals. Kurisu analyzed how specific electrical signals correspond to specific memories. The mechanism by which humans recall memories can be likened to a word association game. It began with a vague abstract image, which calls successive images of increasing clarity.
タンスの引き出しの一つ一つには小さい箱がびっしり入ってるの。で、そのたくさんの箱の中にもさらに小さな小箱がいっぱい。そんな風に想像してもらえばいい。
Kurisu discovered that the number of retrieval commands, nerve impulses used to search up memories, is surprisingly low. Out of hundreds of millions of nerve impulse patterns in the brain, only a few thousand are related to memory. It was the successful analysis of these patterns that earned Kurisu and her research team critical acclaim in the scientific community.
この研究単体だけじゃ岡部の言ったアイデアとは全然関係なさそうだけど、もう一つあるの。私の通ってる大学、ビクトル・コンドリア大学の精神生理学研究所がビジュアルリビルディング、略して VR 技術っていうのを何年か前に開発した。簡単に説明すると、ビデオカメラなんかの映像機器に映した風景の映像信号を神経パルス信号にコンバートする技術のこと。
Conversion of video data into nerve impulse signals. Jesus Christ.
逆に神経パルスを普通の電気信号にコンバートすることもできる。で、この VR 技術と私たちの研究を組み合わせるとどうなると思う？
まさか
人間の記憶のデータか？
それだけじゃない。記憶の移植、バックアップ、外部保存、そういうことができるようになる。
It's like science fiction. In a sense, this technology could be used to copy a person's soul. According to Kurisu, some religious groups strongly oppose this research, as you might expect. On the other hand, the medical community is ecstatic about the possibilities. In any case, it's amazing that my assistant here was able to make such an incredible discovery. Of course, she did have a university supporting her, but still.
つまりお前はこう言いたいのだな。 D メールと同じ要領で被験者の記憶を含む脳内情報を光信号として取り出し、それを LHC で発生させたミニブラックホールを利用して超圧縮36バイトプラスアルファのサイズにまでして、電話レンジカッコ仮で生成したカーブラックホールのリング特異点を通過させ、携帯電話を通して過去の被験者自身の脳に記憶だけをぶち込む。
どういうこと？
We convert the subject's memories into video data, use black hole to compress that, send that through the curved black hole inside a phone wave, and imprint those memories on the subject's brain in the past. Yeah, so we have step 1, step 2, step 3, and then backwards. Step 3, step 2, step 1 towards the other, like the destination, I guess.
記憶だけの時間跳躍。物理的転送によるタイムトラベルと区別するために、仮にこっちはタイムリープと定義しましょうか。肉体を含めた物理的転送ではなく、記憶だけを過去へと跳躍させる。
Which is basically what we're doing with Rintaro in the first place. Whenever he jumps from one roll line to another, he does retain the memories of the previous roll line, so...
あまりに突飛すぎて、誰もまともに考えようとしなかった方法。
Or maybe somebody did. Reason why Rintaro himself remembers in the first place whenever he jumps. She's right. The idea is ridiculous, which is exactly why none of our geniuses at CERN could come up with it.